Hello friends, welcome to another World of Warcraft Dragonflight Alpha Quick View. Today we are taking a quick look at professions, how they've been revamped, and what the endgame grind is going to look like. As of making this video, we are in Phase 2 of the Alpha, which only has access to the primary professions of Blacksmithing and Alchemy, plus the secondary profession of Cooking. Now, looking at primary professions, the concept is still very much the same. Use gathering professions or the auction house to gain reagents, and use those reagents to make cool items. The new mechanics to crafting come in the forms of equipment and specialization / talent trees. Profession equipment, in short, helps you craft. From what we can see on the alpha, profession equipment is solely made through blacksmithing. Profession-specific stats aid you in various crafting niches such as resource efficiency and/or the chances of the crafted item being of a higher quality. A higher quality crafted item simply translates to the item level of the item and its combat stats, so intellect, mastery, crit, etc. The combat stats on a crafted item are determined by missives, which are more than likely going to be crafted and provided by the inscription profession, which will require gathered reagents to make, so you can sort of start to see the synergy between the various professions here. One quick important note, Alchemy has access to a completely new type of item called a file. Blizzard said that these are essentially shorter, cheaper versions of flasks, designed for shorter forms of gameplay like dungeons and world content. Drinking 2 of them does stack the time remaining though, so these might become a viable option instead of flasks for those guilds that raid shorter hours. Now, profession talent trees. The talent trees allow you to specialize in various aspects of your chosen crafted profession. In many interviews, it's been mentioned that you will be able to learn and maximize all specializations. However, it's going to be a really big grind. This is to encourage, I think, a dynamic in-game economy and commerce system, at least at the start of the expansion, as well as give those that want to solely focus on professions something to strive for over the months, maybe even years.
Rather than just picking, let's say, armor smithing or weaponsmithing, you can invest in armor smithing and then further in making plate armor and further in making helms, and have bonuses to your ability to make higher level ones at a higher level of quality that are, at least initially, exclusive with making the choice to invest in making mail gloves or in making two-handed swords. Long-term players and completionists, who we know there's a decent Venn diagram overlap between hardcore crafters and completionists, will be able to eventually make all the things, but that's a long-term completionist goal. I think thinking back,
using blacksmithing as an example, you can see that to learn a trait, it requires a certain amount of blacksmithing knowledge. Back in Alpha Phase 1, when I was questing through the Azure Span, I came across rares and treasure chests that dropped items labeled as Dragon Isle Profession Knowledge. More specifically, if I was a blacksmith, these items would be called Dragon Isle Blacksmithing Knowledge. Using these items gave me 1 point of knowledge that I imagine I would then spend in my profession tree after collecting enough to reward me with a trait. Speaking from a personal opinion, if world content is where these items of Dragon Isle profession knowledge are coming from, you can sort of start to imagine the gameplay loop that will be involved with grinding out these profession specs. So for example, you'd go out into the world, collect reagents, kill rare mobs, go on hunting parties, do world quests, participate in dragon riding events for example maybe, all offering a chance of finding profession knowledge. Linking world content to professions like this I think is really cool. It's going to help make the game world feel alive and dynamic and busy. Now onto secondary professions. They aren't getting any specialization trees. They will, however, be involving the new quality system, and I believe they will also have their own relevant profession equipment. There are also some really interesting toy-like recipes that you can see here. The blubbery muffin and the snow cone just say yum. It'll be interesting to see what effect these have. There's also a celebratory cake. I'm sure many in-game birthday parties will be using this. Lastly, there's the tasty hatchling treat, which reads, lure a friendly whelpling out of hiding with an uncomfortably squishy but nonetheless appealing treat. I have a feeling this might be linked to an achievement or a collectible, maybe even battle pets. So far, there's not much more to be said in regards to secondary professions. It should be noted though that Ian and many of the devs have said that profession updates will be an ongoing part of WoW's game design, so I wouldn't be surprised if in Dragonflight patches or even in the expansions following that we get more and more involved with secondary and primary professions. And that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for watching.